Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Friday, July 14th, 2017. As you can see, it is raining. No difference whatsoever from last week's video. Look at this. 64 degrees on July 14th in the pouring rain. I've always said it, guys, nobody gets worse weather than the East Coast. Cloudy and rainy every day. We have a lot to discuss this week, and I think you're going to find these topical and interesting. We're going to discuss some new eBay features. We're going to discuss a shipping supplies issue. We're also going to discuss your comments and answer some of your questions on last week's video. So let's get started with that right now. Your comments and your questions. Daniel Torba wrote in and said, if I call eBay and get the Indian woman with the mouth full of cotton balls, I just hang up. I selected his comment because his comment was the highest thumbs up comment in my video. And I always try and read the highest thumbs up comment in the video. I will talk more about eBay customer service as we get into the video because I have something I have to tell you about buyer abuse. Work Your Value wrote, I think it's too easy for buyers to use item not as described. I think they should be given a warning before moving on with that selection. Very good idea. They should be given a warning that if they misuse it and the case is found against them, they will be sanctioned. Purple Coyote wrote, hey Joe, I wrote you an email, but I don't know if you got it. I disagree with you about always getting tracking. I sell trading cards, and it's impossible to get tracking on low-priced items like commons or cheap ultra rares. It sucks not having the TRS discount, of course, but I can't just throw away these cheap cards. I make thousands a month by selling them. Occasionally, if the buyer claims they never got it, and you have to refund, but that's rare. That maybe happens like 2 or 3 times out of 1,000 cards. I guess because they're cheap, buyers aren't trying to scam for them. Listen, do what works for you, all right? If this is working for you, then you keep doing it. What I would do with these cheap cards is I would bundle them. You know, I wouldn't sell them for $1 a piece. I would bundle a lot of cheap cards, maybe for $20. This way I could afford to do the first-class tracking, but that's just a thought. But anyway, you seem to be succeeding, so keep on with it. West Island Electrics wrote, I only use Buy It Now for the exact reason you do. Customers rarely pay. There should be a 5% deposit that is charged on their Visa cards for non-paying buyers. They're entering into a legal agreement. Good work, Joe. I'm one of your biggest fans from Montreal. I would love to see a deposit required, but I don't think eBay will ever do that. They don't want to scare away any potential new customers coming in. But, you know, with best offer especially, I really think immediate payment should be available. Mr. Short Pants Zero wrote, I found that if you sell an expensive item, say an iPad, for $500, the buyer then claims it's defective and returns a rock, eBay will not cover you as a seller. This is appalling when you are a top-rated seller. The old rock instead of the iPhone trick. Has it ever happened, or is it just urban legend? Well, thankfully, guys, I've never had it happen to me. In my 18 years on eBay, I've had some difficult buyers, yes. All right? More than a few. As far as outright scammers, like what he's describing, I've only had, I can state one actual hardcore scammer. We'll talk about that shortly. Charlene Nickel wrote, I watch your videos each week. Thanks for keeping us up to date on all the eBay changes. Just recently I have noticed that eBay bots are out of control. I listed a doll outfit that stated not complete because it was missing the shoes, and eBay immediately removed it because it had what they describe as spamming words. I have no idea what this means, but specifically the email said, "We appreciate that you have selected eBay to list your item. However, please understand you have used the unrelated keywords 'not complete.' I have no idea what eBay bots are even looking for. It's so frustrating." Speaking of items getting removed, there's a thread going in one of the Facebook groups regarding used shoes. In case many of you don't know this, there is a large market. There are some people that have what's called a foot fetish, and they like to buy these cheap, well-worn sneakers or socks or things like that, and eBay has been pulling a lot of those listings. I was reading a thread on this. So I don't know exactly what their intentions are, if they're trying to clean up from that fetish, or if they're just or if the bots are too overly sensitive. I think in many cases the bots are too overly sensitive, and we'll talk more about that, as I said. Paul DeLeo wrote, "I agree completely. Last week someone from my local fire department messaged me wanting local pickup on a $7 cellular SIM card adapter needed for their in-vehicle laptop. I provided my phone number, and within a couple of minutes my account was suspended for a week. Earlier in the year, I had received a warning after telling a potential customer that I had already sold the item via Amazon. I didn't think much of the warning until last week I got suspended. It required a call to eBay, and it used my one-time exception to get my account reinstated immediately." Again, on the eBay bots, Carmi 2005 wrote, "Those eBay bots must not be working for anchor stores, because I've had a customer send me their phone number on eBay. I also get a lot of international customers that send me a message about combined shipping. I usually list all of the items they want into one listing, so it's easier for both of us. I end all of the listings first before listing the one combined listing. I haven't received any warning or get any suspensions yet." That's interesting. If maybe, and it might be true, and I can't say yes or no, if the eBay bots are not being applied to the big box stores, the anchor stores. That would be very interesting if that was true. The eBay bots are in fact out of control, in my opinion, and I think in your opinion too. E. Dennis wrote in, "I have a question. If eBay gives you a strike on your account because of something you tried to put in a message, how do you know? I came across a thread on the eBay forum about eBay's insane bots giving sellers strikes just for mentioning PayPal, and even giving the number for an eBay listing. The bots think it's a phone number." And the subject came up, "How do you know if they put a strike on your account?" The other sellers thought you could be racking up strikes and not even knowing it. Several times I've had the warning pop up when I tried to message a buyer, but I didn't know that meant I was getting strikes on my account. Is that true? Nothing has happened so far. Should I call customer service and find out? Every time it was for stuff like mentioning PayPal, and once it was because I used the semicolon. Yes, really, I took the semicolon out of the message and it went through fine. So if I have strikes, they are undeserved. And I don't want to wake up some morning to find my account suspended." He is spot on with that. Just the other day, I had a customer write to me and on a set of hubs I was selling, and he said, "Joe, you're selling a set of 4 hubs, but I only need 1. Can I buy just 1? So I said, "Sure." And I sent him a link to one of my listings where I was selling a single hub. And of course, I got the error message from eBay saying I am not allowed to take any transactions off eBay, even though I wasn't. I sent the message through, but yet I have no idea, like he said, if I received a strike, but I do know that the buyer never got back to me, never bought anything. Oh yeah, I love a drink of water from a Fox News cup. Scalante55 wrote, "Hey Joe, are you going to the eBay Open at Las Vegas?" Yes, I am. I will discuss that more next week, and I hope as many of you guys as possible are going to it. It's very important to go to it because I'm going to be talking about a lot of important topics, including these dreaded eBay bots that all you guys are upset about, and I don't blame you. All right? It's something that needs to be looked at. So I noticed a new feature this week on eBay. And the best way to explain it to you is to do a quick cutaway and show you one of my items, and I think we'll do that right now. Okay guys, I just want to show you some new features that eBay is rolling out gradually on multi-quantity items. In this particular item, you can see I have a total of 7 available and 12 have already sold. And here it gives you something new. It gives you a link to see the feedback specifically for these items that I've sold. You can click on it and see that 2 people have left positive feedback. I have no idea what happened to the other 10 people, but as I told you guys, in eBay Motors, we sell a lot of items, but we don't get a lot of feedback. I'm not sure why, perhaps because they were left with guest accounts. In addition, you'll see it says here 100% buyer satisfaction, which is new. This has been around for a while, limited quantity remaining, and here it says more than 62% sold. So I really wanted you to see that they were rolling out these new features in increments. This has actually been out for a few weeks, but I decided I would incorporate this into today's video. Okay guys, so you notice that new little feature where you can see the feedback for a particular item you're selling if it's a multi-quantity listing. You'll notice that the auction or the listing also said 100% satisfaction, and I think this is a positive move on eBay's part. I'm very happy with it. It lets the buyers double check the feedback for that particular item before they make the purchase. As you noticed, I think I had sold 12 of the items and only 2 people out of 12 left feedback, which basically is par for the course on eBay Motors. I think everybody on eBay Motors gets a very small percentage of feedback left, as opposed to other categories in eBay, especially collectibles. Another thing I'd like to talk about, which really surprised me, is shipping supplies. I ordered my quarterly eBay shipping supplies last week, and they arrived the other day. And the box was beat to crap. It was beaten so badly that I took some pictures with my phone and I immediately uploaded them to one of the Facebook groups to engage in some lively banter. What surprised me is that a large number of people who responded also got their items in very poor condition. Let's do a quick cutaway to that, and I'll show you my box right now. So my eBay shipping supplies arrived the other day, and this is the box they were shipped in. Take a look at this box. It looks like it went through the war. We've got 2 gaping holes, one on each side here, and this tape, this clear tape, is barely hanging on. Keep in mind that this is an oversized box for the items that are inside, and they were loose and shaking around. Also, the quality of cardboard on this particular box is much too light for the heavy items that were inside. Okay, so I opened up the box to see what was inside, and I got my 2 boxes of my 10 by 10 by 10 boxes, and I've got a box of my smaller boxes. Note there's no damage to any of them. And also a t-shirt. A used woman's t-shirt was also thrown in the box. I just don't freaking get it. Take a look at the box once again. The items inside the box, they could have used a much smaller box or used some packing materials to avoid this kind of thing. I would like to know from you guys in the comments section below if you have received your shipping supplies in damaged boxes like this, or even if you haven't, comment below please. As I said, the items in the box were not damaged, they were fine. But the packing, in my opinion, was very poor. The box was oversized. The cardboard was the very cheap, weak kind that is not designed to hold heavy loads. There was no packing material in the box whatsoever, and there was a used woman's t-shirt with the brand name Eileen Fisher on it. You saw it in the second photograph. A used t-shirt was in my box of eBay shipping supplies. That's crazy. I am not going to make a complaint to eBay shipping supplies because the items came in a timely manner, they were not damaged, and they were free. However, I do feel this is a very interesting topic, so I would like your opinion. How did your box of eBay shipping supplies arrive this quarter? Please comment below, and also comment on what you think about my box of shipping supplies. Earlier, when I was reading Mr. Shortpants' comment, he talked about people getting scammed. He talked about the iPhone scam. As I said, I've never had that happen to me. I'm very lucky. I've been on eBay for 18 years, and I've never had a real dishonest buyer, but I have had the worst kind of scammer and stalker you have ever dreamed of. A person who scams and stalks me till this day. Till this day. I'm going to drop a link below that I'd like all of you guys to click on when you have a chance. It's to a video that happened about 4 years ago. What this guy was doing, and I've mentioned this before, but I've never got too deep into this initial outing. He found my YouTube channel, just like you guys did, and he's a person that had been kicked off eBay for violating their rules. He is not wanted on eBay, and he may not sell on eBay. And he's jealous of people like myself and you who can sell on eBay and make money. So he decided to attack my channel, which, you know, I expected. He then made all these fake eBay accounts. Back then it was a lot easier to do. And he would buy my items. He'd do the buy it now, let's say $100. And back then I didn't require immediate payment. There was no reason to. Sure, I had deadbeat bidders, but that was it. He would click on payment sent, even though he never paid. At the time, I did not yet take PayPal, I take ProPay. He would do this like 4 or 5 times a week, and then he would leave me repeated negative feedbacks to try and hurt my account. That meant I would have to call eBay and get them all removed. But the part that really makes this so earth-shattering and monumental is he would then document what he was doing, prove it, by making a video. He would call eBay and make fake complaints about me, saying he bought my item and he paid me and I never sent it. And he would post these videos on YouTube so he could send a message to me that he was doing it to me and I could never do anything about it. Of course, he was very wrong about that, because for those of you who know the backstory, I was able to expose him. And he was put on the news, Fox News, not once, but twice. How many people in your community, how many law-abiding people have ever been put on the news even once? Answer, 0. This guy is sick. He's sick in the head. He lives in Michigan and continues to stalk me to this day. I'm not going to spend much time on him right now because I have more eBay stuff to discuss, but I would like a vote from you guys. And I'm serious about this, okay? First, click on the link that I'm telling you and watch the short video, all right? It's to a site, the link is on a site devoted to this one person who has trolled and harassed so many people all across the United States. I know it's hard to believe if you haven't heard about this before, but it's true. I am his chief victim, but he harasses me daily. In fact, remember a couple of weeks ago, I made a video in the Hall of Shame showing you a guy that was using the Hollander books, pictures and stuff. Do you know he actually called that eBay seller and told him that I was making hate videos about him? And, true to his way, went and uploaded that sound recording to his Mixcloud account. That's what he does. He likes to try and hurt people. But anyway, my question to you, I'm thinking in the near future of making a special video detailing everything about this stalker. It wouldn't be on Friday night because Friday night is my eBay video. It will be a special video, a special event, and it will be fairly long and it will encompass everything. So comment yes or no. Do you think I should make this video? Okay? Of course, I think I should. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. All right? Okay. Let's keep eBay safe and let's keep YouTube safe. We cannot have people harassing, stalking, and bullying. All right? From behind closed doors. This guy owns a gun. Okay? That's bad. All right? I don't want to see anything bad happen. All right? I want people to be protected. So much for that. Let's get on to the next topic, sales and buyer abuse. How have your sales been this last week? My sales were quite good. I'm noticing the new summer trend where I'm very slow on Saturday and Sunday, but very busy all week long. I think it's going to be that way for the rest of the summer, and I have no problem with that because I'm still doing quite well. I didn't have any new returns or cancellations this week, but I would like to go back to last week and tell you about a few of the returns I told you about where two people were circumventing the system and trying to hurt me by falsely reporting the item as not as described. There were the two people that filed returns claiming not as described because they lied because they wouldn't pay the shipping back. And although I take returns 30 days, I'm a man of principle and I will fight. You know me, like I just proved. I'm like a dog with a bone. Once I get hold of it, I will not let go. All right? Right is right and fair is fair, and I will not let anybody bully me. The first guy purchased items that were too big, or rather too small for his wheel. I engaged him in conversation. He agreed. He bought the wrong ones. Okay? I contacted eBay customer service, got a knowledgeable representative. Bang. They did a forced close in my favor, which means the customer has to ship the items back to me under his dime. The case will not hurt me at all. Okay? That, I think, is fair and reasonable. All right? Now, the second case is off the wall crazy. Off the freaking wall crazy. Let me tell you what happened. Lady buys some items for me. She buys the wrong size. She starts right off by circumventing eBay and calling me directly, which I told you last week. And I said to her, listen, this ain't gonna fly. You didn't buy these from me personally. You bought them on eBay. I'll be more than happy to give you a full refund, but you have to open a return request through eBay so everything stays above board. Because I could sense, just from her tone, when she said, you sent me the wrong items, I knew she was going to be trouble. So she opens the return request, but she clicks not as described and states that I sent her the wrong items, which I didn't. All right? So again, I had to draw her out in conversation and get her to admit she bought the wrong ones. No problem. The problem starts with eBay customer service. Now this goes back to the first comment that I read earlier today when the man said he doesn't like calling and getting the Indian representatives with cotton balls in their mouth. I called 3 different eBay representatives on this. I got both overseas and the United States. The ones in the United States were no better than the ones overseas, okay? I was able to understand all 3 with no problem. See, as far as accents are concerned, I am able to understand just about every accent because I grew up in the New York City area and I'm used to hearing all these kinds of accents. So accents really don't bother me, but I do understand that some of you, especially in the rural areas, are not used to them. But getting back, I called 3 different reps, was given 3 different responses and 3 different answers. The first person told me to call back on Monday and she would close the case in my favor. She was from the USA and she sounded like she was chewing gum the whole time because Monday would be too soon. You have to allow a certain amount of time for the case to close. I then called back a few days later got another rep, and that rep said that I had to call the following day, that it was still too soon, but they in fact would close the case in my favor as well. No problem. I call the next day and I get a guy, and this guy was definitely inexperienced. He kept putting me on hold. He put me on hold 4 different times, and each time he said, "May I put you on hold while I check some things on my end for 2 minutes?" No problem. He comes back finally after reading all the material and says, "Well, I can close the case out and the buyer will have to ship the item back to you under her dime." I said, "Fine, no problem. That's what's fair." So he does that, and I thought everything was resolved. But then I got one of those form letters from eBay that says, "You have escalated a case to eBay and we have found in the buyer's favor." Now, hold up. You didn't find in the buyer's favor, you found in my favor. Had they made me pay return shipping, that would be finding in the buyer's favor. They're making her pay return shipping, so that's my favor. So this doesn't look right, I said. I wonder if this is going to count against me as a case that was not resolved. Okay, I've never had one of them yet in my eBay career. So I decided to contact some people, and they said, yes, this will count against you. So I said, how the Christ can this count against me when you can see in black and white I have not done a thing wrong? This person admits they bought the wrong item. They have misused the returns process. Okay, that's a fact. And I get back another letter. Well, we want customers to be satisfied, and we want everybody to be able to return to the platform and be happy. And anytime eBay steps in, case is going to be decided basically in the favor of the buyer. I was appalled. I'm still appalled. Now, I've been checking my dashboard, and it does not yet show up as a case against me without seller resolution. But I can guarantee you something, and I'll put this out there right now. I'm going to get that removed. Because you know me, I'm like a dog with a bone. Right is right, and fair is fair, and that is not fair. That lady bought the wrong items, tried to misuse the eBay returns process, and like one of you guys said earlier, what eBay should do is go after that person because she misused the returns process. But that will never happen. But I am fairly confident I can get this removed if it even does appear on my account. I spoke to somebody else and they told me that I had nothing to worry about. We'll see how it goes, and I will keep you in the loop because this is important. This could happen to any one of you guys, all right? I love eBay. I'm eBay fanboy #1. But what makes my channel popular is because you guys know that I will report accurately, whether it's pro or whether it's con. And when it's con, I will come out here and I will say so. Okay? I hope you guys found this video helpful. I really do. If you did find it helpful, please give me a thumbs up. I love seeing a lot of thumbs up because it makes me feel good that I come out here and I help you guys every Friday, and we're all on the same page and we're all trying to make money on eBay. If you have any issues with anything I said or any concerns, comment them below. You're free to comment, and your comment may well get read on next week's video. Remember, I am a seller friend, not a seller critic or a skeptic of any kind. I come out here to make these videos to try and help you, all right? I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Please comment. I need to hear your comments, especially on the topics I covered. On the buyer abuse, when they abuse the returns process, if you've had any instances with that, comment below your feelings, please. I need to hear them. eBay shipping supplies, if you received them in very poor condition this week, or if you didn't, I want to hear about that. If you think I should make a stalker video in the near future devoted specifically to this one dangerous stalker from Michigan, comment that below. If you guys have any topics you'd like me to cover, please comment them below. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys make a freaking ton of money this week on eBay. Go out there, rock on, and peace! Yeah! Oh yeah, yeah!